Yet beneath the haze of its perceived benefits lies a darker reality, one that affects millions of individuals who struggle with the physical, mental, and emotional consequences of cannabis use. This book is not just a warning, it is a guide, a source of hope, and a roadmap for those seeking to break free from the grip of cannabis addiction. It is a call to reclaim your health, your mind, and your life. Chapter 1: The Physical Toll. When the Body Speaks. The act of smoking cannabis, whether for pleasure or pain relief, is not without consequences. The combustion process releases a cocktail of toxic chemicals, many of which are harmful to the body. Chronic cannabis smokers often face a range of physical health issues, from respiratory problems to cardiovascular strain. The lungs, designed to breathe clean air, struggle under the weight of smoke and tar, leading to chronic bronchitis, wheezing, and even an increased risk of lung cancer. The heart too bears the burden, as cannabis use has been linked to elevated risks of heart attacks and strokes, particularly in those with pre-existing conditions. But the damage doesn't stop there. The immune system, our body's defense mechanism, can be weakened by chronic cannabis use, leaving individuals more vulnerable to infections and illnesses. For those dreaming of starting a family, cannabis can interfere with fertility, affecting sperm quality in men and disrupting ovulation in women. And for pregnant women, the risks extend to their unborn children, with studies linking cannabis use to lower birth weights and developmental issues. The body is resilient, but it is not invincible. Every puff of cannabis smoke is a step away from optimal health. The question is, how long will you ignore the warning signs? Chapter 2: The Mind Under Siege, Mental Health at Risk. While cannabis may offer temporary relief from stress or anxiety, its long-term effects on mental health are far from benign. For many, what begins as a casual escape can spiral into a cycle of dependence, anxiety, and depression. The brain, a delicate and complex organ, is particularly vulnerable to the effects of cannabis, especially in young users whose brains are still developing. Studies have shown a strong link between cannabis use and the onset of psychotic disorders like schizophrenia, particularly in those with a genetic predisposition. Even for those without such vulnerabilities, chronic use can lead to cognitive impairment, affecting memory, attention, and decision-making. The once sharp mind becomes clouded, and the ability to learn, work, and thrive diminishes. Cannabis use disorder, CUD, is a real and diagnosable condition, characterized by an inability to control use despite negative consequences. It is a trap that ensnares many, leaving them feeling powerless and isolated. But it is not a life sentence. With the right support and strategies, recovery is possible. Chapter 3: The Science Behind the Smoke. How cannabis affects the brain and body. To understand the impact of cannabis, we must look to the science. The active compounds in cannabis, particularly THC and CBD, interact with the body's endocannabinoid system, ECS, a complex network of receptors that regulate mood, appetite, pain, and immune function. THC, the psychoactive component, binds to CB1 receptors in the brain, altering perception, mood, and cognitive function. It disrupts the balance of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, leading to the euphoric high, but also contributing to dependence and withdrawal. CBD, on the other hand, has a more modulatory role, influencing the ECS without producing a high. While it has been praised for its potential anti-inflammatory and anxiolytic effects, its benefits are not without controversy, and its interaction with THC can be unpredictable. Chronic cannabis use can lead to inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging cells and contributing to long-term health problems. The brain in particular is vulnerable to these effects, with studies showing that heavy use can lead to structural changes in areas responsible for memory and emotion. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial for anyone seeking to quit. Knowledge is power, and by understanding how cannabis affects the body and mind, you can take the first step toward reclaiming control. Chapter 4: The Decision to Quit. Taking the first step. Quitting cannabis is not easy, but it is one of the most important decisions you can make for your health and well-being. The first step is recognizing that cannabis is no longer serving you, it is holding you back. This realization can be painful, but it is also empowering. It is the moment you decide that your health, your future, and your happiness are worth fighting for. Making the decision to quit is just the beginning. The road ahead will be challenging, but it is also filled with hope. You are not alone in this journey. Millions of people have walked this path before you, and with the right support, you can too. Chapter 5. Building your support system. You don't have to do it alone. One of the most important factors in successfully quitting cannabis is having a strong support system. This can include friends, family, therapists, or support groups. Surround yourself with people who understand your struggle and who will encourage you to stay on track. Support groups, both in person and online, can be particularly helpful. They provide a safe space to share your experiences, learn from others, and gain valuable insights into the recovery process. Knowing that others have faced similar challenges and overcome them can be incredibly motivating. Chapter 6. Coping strategies. Replacing cannabis with healthier habits. Quitting cannabis is not just about stopping use. It's about replacing old habits with new, healthier ones. Identify the triggers that lead you to use cannabis, whether it's stress, boredom, or social situations, and develop alternative coping mechanisms. Exercise is one of the most effective ways to manage stress and improve mood. Whether it's running, yoga, or weightlifting, physical activity releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Meditation and deep breathing exercises can also help calm the mind and reduce anxiety. Engage in hobbies that bring you joy and fulfillment. Whether it's painting, playing music, or gardening, these activities can provide a sense of purpose and distract you from cravings. Chapter 7. Managing withdrawal. Navigating the storm. Withdrawal from cannabis can be uncomfortable, but it is temporary. Common symptoms include irritability, anxiety, insomnia, and decreased appetite. These symptoms are a sign that your body is adjusting to life without cannabis, and they will pass. To manage withdrawal, focus on self-care. Stay hydrated, eat nutritious meals, and get plenty of rest. Over-the-counter medications can help with symptoms like headaches or nausea. If symptoms are severe, consult a healthcare professional who can provide additional support. Chapter 8. Avoiding triggers, creating a cannabis-free environment. To succeed in quitting cannabis, it's important to avoid the people, places, and situations that trigger cravings. This may mean distancing yourself from friends who use cannabis, avoiding certain social settings, or removing cannabis-related paraphernalia from your home. Create a new routine that supports your goals. Fill your time with positive activities and surround yourself with people who encourage your sobriety. Chapter 9. Relapse prevention, staying on track. Relapse is a common part of the recovery process, but it doesn't mean failure. If you slip up, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, learn from the experience and use it as an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Develop a relapse prevention plan that includes strategies for managing cravings, coping with triggers, and seeking support when needed. Remember, recovery is a journey, not a destination. Chapter 10. A new beginning, reclaiming your life. Quitting cannabis is not just about giving up a habit. It's about reclaiming your life. It's about rediscovering your passions, rebuilding your relationships, and redefining your sense of self. It's about waking up each day with clarity, purpose, and hope. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. You have the strength, the resilience, and the power to overcome this challenge. And when you do, you'll find that the life waiting for you on the other side is brighter, healthier, and more fulfilling than you ever imagined. Conclusion: the path forward. The road to recovery is not a straight line. It is a winding path filled with challenges and triumphs. But with each step, you move closer to a life free from the smokescreen of cannabis. You move closer to a life of health, happiness, and fulfillment. You are not defined by your past choices. You are defined by your ability to rise above them. So take that first step and know that you are not alone. The journey may be difficult, but the destination is worth it. Your future is waiting, clear, bright, and full of promise.